Mall of America. It's home to world-class shopping, great dining, and amazing attractions and events. And these are our stories, presented by Bloomington, Minnesota Travel and Tourism.
Welcome back to our special 100th episode. One so good, we broke it into 2 parts, featuring Dave Ryan. Let's jump right back into this fun discussion.
I do have a fun fact that I want to bring forward because I did not know this, but the fact that you are a Mensa member, and I think we should tell the audience what this all means because you are truly a genius, and being able to put that together with the personality that you brought forward on the radio makes it really magical. So I would love for you to explain how those 2 sides of your world come together to make it really special on air.
Okay, well, I was very insecure about not having a 4-year college degree. And so I have an associate's degree, but I didn't have a college degree. And I thought, I'm never going to get a college degree. I don't want one now. But I thought, and it wasn't like one thought led right to another, but then I'm online and there was something like take the Mensa test or whatever. And so there's all kinds of IQ tests that are online. You can find an app that will test your IQ. But I went to the mensa.org or whatever website, and you take a test. And if you do well enough, they'll invite you to come take the real test. So I did well enough on the online test that I got invited down to their real test at the Burnsville Public Library Saturday morning at like 8 o'clock. And it was just me and one other guy, and you sit in a little closed off room, and a couple of really brilliant people watch your every move. Mm-hmm. So can you imagine taking a test and somebody who knows all the answers is watching you from about 3 feet away to make sure you're not Googling or whatever. And so I sat there at this table and now I'll give you a couple of examples. It'll say something like, okay, what do these 4 things have in common? And it'll be like, I don't know, like leaf, stem, root. But, that's a bad example because that's easy.
Yep.
But you would have to figure out what they had in common. And I did really well on word ones, no surprise. But these were the tricky ones, Dan. Like, what's the next number in the sequence? 1, 6, 19, 22. I don't know. So I would guess, and I think I did poorly on the math number ones, but really well on the word ones. So then you don't find out right away. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like getting your acceptance letter from college. So then, a month later, I got a letter in the mail. And I still remember my wife brought it to me, and I opened it. I'm like, oh my God, now I feel like I can brag about, So I throw it out when it's convenient. You know what I mean?
When it's convenient.
If like Dan and I are arguing about something,
leverage it a little bit.
I'll leverage that. Like, well, Dan, you can't possibly be right because I'm in Mensa.
As am I.
I think it's fascinating.
Are you in Mensa?
No.
Oh, okay. You can lie about it,
I would pull it out.
You could, because nobody's going to check. I could be making this whole thing up right now. You don't know.
We believe you.
We trust you. Thank you.
We trust you. So speaking,
I do have a membership card, just in case anybody ever asks me.
Slid out of your wallet.
As do I. we actually had a bunch of Mensa kids here when we launched Brain Surge Ride. Mm-hmm. It was a really fun thing, and they loved it. They helped us promote our new ride, Brain Surge.
Oh, cool.
We should have invited you. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I love it. Speaking of words, you have recently become an author of multiple books. Tell us about that journey and what got you started there.
Okay. I started putting together little like life hacks or pieces of advice about 15 or so years ago. And I'd put them in my phone or I'd write them down or whatever. And then I put them all together in a book. And the book is about 101 little life lessons. And the book is called Take a Shower, Show Up on Time, and Don't Steal Anything, and Other Stuff I Learned the Hard Way. So the theme of the book is I'm going to teach you these things that I learned the hard way so you don't have to make the same dumb mistakes that I did. For example, don't loan money. Don't loan money because you usually lose the money and the friend that you loaned it to. That's a little bit more serious one, but there are other ones like stop at lemonade stands. Because when you stop at a kid's lemonade stand, it makes their day. They look bored until, well, they might be waving or whatever, but when you stop, here comes somebody, and they stand up, and somebody opens the cash drawer and
amazing.
somebody else is pouring the warm, watered down lemonade and they put their thumb in it when they give it to you. And but I've told that story and people will call into the station and say, I stopped at a lemonade stand yesterday and they were so happy. So that send thank you cards because I think it's really, I'm a big appreciation person. So if you send somebody like $100 for their birthday and they don't say thank you, you feel kind of hurt. It's like, well, I don't know about next year. And if they send a thank you text, that's at least something. But a thank you card, nobody does that anymore.
We talk
And you
about
love
that
getting
all the
them.
time.
Yeah, you love it. Yeah,
Yes.
it really like when you it's graduation season, so you're going to send kids graduation presents, and a lot of the time, mom and dad are looking over their shoulder, going, "Okay, send those thank you cards," and you do appreciate it. So
a good
the
life
book is full of
lesson.
things like that, but it's also fun. It's not a preachy kind of a book, and it just tells some different stories of how I learned these things. Then my other one was a children's book, and it's called Little Dave's Amazing Day. And I don't know why I named the main character after me, but I think the person who helped me put it together said, well, why not name him Dave? So it's just a fun, I wish I had pictures, but you can look it up on Amazon. It is it's a longer book. It's, when I say longer, not thick, but it's not a tiny book. And the pictures tell the whole story. And it's about this little kid who gets up and he's just a mess and he creates messes and he draws on the wall and he slops food around and he spills the dog food and he gets in trouble, kid kind of trouble. And it's just, it's about his day. And the artwork makes the whole story. So
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And we've had you out for a book signing or book
We
event.
did, yes, yes.
So keep those books coming because we would love to continue to focus.
I'm
and
working on
feature
3,
those.
so.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So to wrap things up, what do you do when you're not on the radio?
Well, I just got an electric bike.
Do you love it?
They're
I would
so
like
cool.
one as well.
Sarah, do you
Worth the
love
investment?
do you love yours?
I haven't bought it yet. You're going to convince me. I
No,
really
I'm going to
want
convince
one.
you.
Yes, I'm ready.
So, you buy a bicycle and you're either like you really get into it and whatever, or you hang it from the garage ceiling and you never really take it down again.
But it looks good.
But it looks good. And so
Look at the neighbors.
we, I don't know what made us, a friend of mine rode electric bikes. And I said, well, you're athletic. Why do you have an electric bike? And she said, because now instead of going 25 miles, I can go 50 miles. Oh, okay.
Maximize.
So we went into Eric's. And this is not a plug because I paid full price. It's not like, they said, hey, mention me on the Mall of America podcast. I'll give you a discount. So we went in, and within a half an hour, we were sold, and we walked
Amazing.
out having bought within 30 minutes. And they're so cool. They're weird feeling because when you
Okay.
get on start to pedal, it's helping you. It's like, and then you can kick it into there's different modes that gives you a little bit more help.
Okay.
And then there's one where you just pull the throttle and it does all the work for you.
Okay.
So
When you're going uphill.
Yeah.
Right,
Just need a little
right.
break.
So when you want to get some exercise, you put it in low mode, and when you
Very cool.
go up a big hill, you put it in high mode. They're so cool, Sarah. You got to get
I need
one.
to do it? Okay.
Yeah, you got to
You've
get one.
convinced me. 30 minutes, done.
They're
Pretty
very
soon
cool.
she'll be biking to work.
Yes.
It'll
And
be
be like,
amazing.
Chels, do you see my bike?
Yeah, very
I
cool.
love it. Well, I believe you want to turn the tables maybe.
I do. I want to ask about the ladybugs.
Ladybugs.
Yeah, because
I'm going
I-
to turn that one to Dan. 'cause Dan has,
there's like 47 million ladybugs inside Mall of America, and I want to find out, how does this happen and why?
And we love all of them. There's Rachel, there's Evelyn, there's Barry. No, there's every year during Earth Month, typically on Earth Day, we invite school kids into the mall, and they help us release 150,000 live ladybugs.
That's mind-boggling.
And the kids have so much fun, and
Yeah.
they're crawling all through their hair and everything. But the ladybugs are natural predators. They eat aphids and other insects that are harmful to our plants. So the ladybugs are a natural way of taking care of pests within Mall of America. And they're beautiful. They're fun, and people love seeing them.
Yeah, it's not like
it's
a
a great
spider.
Earth Day
Yeah,
tradition.
exactly.
When I heard that, I'd never known that before, and I was kind of blown away that there was because you guys have thousands of plants.
30,000.
30,000 plants in Mall of America. And I said that to somebody the other day, said, where are they? Oh, I said, well, they're mostly probably in Nick Universe, right?
Most of them, but we have them throughout the mall. Yep.
Okay. And then one thing, and you threw this out, we were at a meeting here last week, and Jill, you threw this out, that there's no heating system in Mall of America.
No central heating.
And that blew me away. How in the world did they know that would work? Because some architect somewhere, she was like, look, I got an idea.
Yeah.
We don't have to put heating in there. How did they know that was going to work?
It's crazy. And that's what people always wonder. In Minnesota, you don't have central heat. So individual stores have their own heat.
Okay.
And our vestibules have heat. But with the skylights giving us some solar energy and the body heat that with the hundreds of thousands of people every week that are through this building, it's just a natural source of heat. So it works. It's been working for almost 33 years now. So I think
It's never cold in here.
It's
Never cold or hot.
70 and sunny every day. That's
Every
what we
day.
say.
So I've got a couple of other questions for you, and this is always one that sometimes you have an answer and sometimes you don't. So I'm going to take a chance that you might. What is your most embarrassing story that's happened to you at Mall of America? And I know Jill has one, and if you don't recall it, I'll bring it up for you.
Oh my. I'm a little
He came
nervous.
I want to hear
I'm a
this.
little
Yeah, what
nervous.
is it?
There's been a lot of times that I've been
Well,
embarrassed
you were an
with things.
intern, and you were asked to photograph an unusual subject.
Uh-oh, what did I photograph?
Male models
I
in their
remember.
underpants.
I remember this.
That was one of my first events, and I came in and I got asked to go to the rotunda to set out pamphlets on the chairs. We did have some printed materials back then that we handed out, and it was all set up with a runway. And I'm like, what are we doing? And I'm looking at the materials, and it was a underwear model search for Structure, which was Express Men back in the day.
Yeah.
And I looked at my team. I'm like, I have got the best job ever. This is fantastic. I'm like, wait till I go home and tell everybody what I got to do today. So yes, no. Well, and I did. Yeah, we did take some pictures with them to put on some marketing
them.
materials. So
With them,
You had
yeah.
to.
we did. Well,
Part of the job.
who's not going to?
Jill, this
And
is
those
the highlight
pictures.
of my day. I didn't know I needed to know this about you.
And great job.
I don't know if it was embarrassing,
Okay.
but yeah, you could put it in that category, I guess.
Anybody else have an embarrassing story here at the good old MOA? Because I've got another
once,
question.
Once a week.
Yeah.
Well, what about this then? This is something that I know there's every day somebody's going to lose their car in the parking lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So what happens when, Jill from St. Louis Park comes into the office or goes to security? I can't find my car. Did you park in the east ramp or the west ramp? I don't know. What do you do?
We
happens all
sell
the time.
them, and then that way, that's how we fund the podcast.
It happens all the time. So our security gets called on lost cars. Usually they start with, if they do remember if it was east or west. And a fun fact, I don't know if you know this, Dave, but all the levels and the ramps they're by states, right?
Oh, sure.
And those states are either East Coast states or West Coast states. And so I just learned this a couple of years ago, and I've been here forever. But it's great because it's like, oh, you parked in Florida. Okay, you're in the East ramp, and then
That
they can
makes
help
sense.
you. So
Yep.
if they can remember the state or even the color, that can help identify where they're located. So by process of elimination, usually our security can find it pretty quick. And we have cameras that can help
we
them.
have cameras. In worst case scenario, our security who are on bicycles will go around with a key fob and try to make them beep. Honestly,
Yeah.
we find everyone, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, eventually
We
you're going to.
reunite everyone and their cars.
We
so
do.
We're good.
Is there a hidden secret about Mall of America? Now, I know we've talked about the heating, and I know we talked about the ladybugs. Now, I'm going to tell you this. We're in a little part of Mall of America that I never knew existed. We're in some, bunker somewhere.
You
that-
are.
no,
Actually,
it's
we're above ground.
We are above ground. This is super cool. It's a part of the Mall of America. Are we in the hotel or the
office tower?
now?
Yes.
And we're back in some hidden secret podcast room with a great view of the airport. And this is, seriously, watching the planes take off and land, that's super cool. But people don't know this is here.
Yep.
What else is there something that people don't know about Mall of America?
Well, I'll start. Many people don't know we have a sub-level, a basement, right? Although we do take people down there sometimes. But even among the people that have seen that, most people don't know that there's actually an attic at Mall of America.
What?
And I have been up there, and
I have as well.
it is laden with dust.
And a lot of storage of
A
materials.
lot of old boxes and
Yes.
stuff, but there is actually an attic in the mall.
Can't imagine. Wow.
Yes. Oh goodness, there's so many hidden treasures. And I think that's what's cool is there's 5.6 million square feet and it's hard to discover everything when you're here, especially as a guest. But whether it's the basement to your point, and we also have a corridor system that allows us to get everything done behind the scenes. So very much like Disney, whether it's happening below or behind the walls and in the hallways, it's really great because between security and then also our maintenance and our waste and recycling, everything can happen out of the customer's eyes. So it keeps it really clean and friendly for our guests.
Okay.
I was going to say sub-level, but you took it because that blew my mind when I started here. I was it's massive. It's bananas. People ride little carts down there. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The pineapple tree, right? In Nickelodeon Universe, we have a pineapple tree.
What?
And I don't think people realize that.
Did
and it's
not
one of
know
the
that.
fun facts that, go into Nickelodeon Universe. I couldn't tell you where I
We
think
have
it
an
is.
orange tree,
It's
a
over by the
lime tree,
Fairly
pineapple
coaster.
plants, bird of paradise. Yeah.
I just learned they have pepper plants now
We
too.
do, yeah.
Yes, because our team members will take the peppers and have them
Yes.
for lunch.
Yep.
It's great.
I want to see this pineapple tree. Where is it? By
Right?
Rock Bottom Plunge?
I think
Rock
it,
Bottom Plunge?
no, I think it's over by Fairly Odd Coaster.
It's by Fairly Odd
Yeah. Okay.
Coaster, by the
Okay.
exit to Fairly Odd Coaster. And it's actually a plant, so it's only about this tall.
And they're
Okay.
they're not
Yeah.
very-
But we have full-grown trees in Nickelodeon as well,
Yep.
which are awesome. The Norfolk pines that are the gorgeous pine trees in Nickelodeon, those are actually the same species you can buy at Target at the holidays that are like 1.5 feet tall
Really?
for $5.99. That's what they grow into when you have a beautiful climate like we have.
Yeah, and a landscaping crew that does an amazing job
Yeah,
of
they do.
maintaining
Amazing.
them and grooming them all the time. So it's fantastic. Well, thank you, Dave.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you,
want to
thank
say
you, thank
thanks
you.
for having me, but thanks for all the memories over the years. I mean, when we first moved here, when you bring anybody to Minnesota, what do you want to go see? Well, I want to go see Mall of America.
Yep.
There's not even there's other things, but it's everybody's first choice. When I came here for the interview, I remember my boss brought me here, and it was just for the interview. I didn't know I was going to get the job, and we stood elevated somewhere overlooking what was then, and will always be to me, Camp Snoopy,
Yep.
Nick Universe. But it was like, wow, there's a roller coaster in here, and then we used to come back when we moved here almost every Friday night. And we would have dinner at, my gosh, Tony Roma's, which
Yes.
was way back over here.
Yep.
And then one last story, if I may. I love the log ride. It's my favorite ride. I just love it. I can smell the log ride if I try to picture it
Yep.
right now.
Yep.
And so my daughter was probably 3-ish, and my wife and I really wanted to go on the log ride. And she didn't want to. And I said, well, I'll get you a candy necklace. And so we stopped at a little place right by the entrance, and I got her a candy necklace. So she went on the log ride, and she cried the entire time. And as you know, they used to take pictures, and I think they probably still do
we
when you
still
come
do.
down the plunge.
Absolutely.
So at home, I have a fading mug of my daughter crying. And I was like, yay! And my wife
love
was
it.
like, yay! And my daughter is crying, and I still have that. And the end of the story is she would not go on another ride of any kind
Oh, no.
for probably 3 years.
Oh no.
So
I love it.
it was worth it.
A fun memory.
It was worth it. So so many stories
love
at
it.
Mall of America.
Well, we appreciate you. Thank you for being an ambassador of yours. Thank you for your support for so many years. And we have more stories to come because there's going to be more events and exciting things to work on together. So
Yay.
thank you. And for all of our fans, our listeners, and our viewers, thank you for tuning in for 100 episodes with us. Continue to stay connected. Follow our stories. Be sure to follow Dave. Listen to The Morning at KDWB. Follow his podcast, The Dave Show, as well as check out his new books. So much to check out, so much more at Mall of America. We love you for following us and supporting us and to continue this journey together. Thanks for listening to So Much More, a Mall of America podcast. Subscribe wherever you find your favorite podcasts. This show is presented by Bloomington, Minnesota Travel and Tourism.